Hello, Mr. Antonio. I wanted to make this video for website project management just so that we have a little bit more formal steps on the process. I know we've been doing, I don't know, maybe 10 websites already over the last 3 months, but getting it on paper, just listing out the steps, something to reference, whether it's in the beginning, in the middle, or the end. I think it's helpful, not only for you, but also for me, because there's a lot of things that happen. And so creating this document should be of use to both of us. And I'm also going to need your help because I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of steps. But anyways, that's what this is going to be. It's going to be the project management of a website specifically. So obviously there's things that happens before and things that happen after when a client comes in. So I'll touch a little bit on that just to give you like the full scope of things. Now that we're work from home, you don't hear the calls, you don't hear the sales process. So kind of wanted to just bring that back up and give you a brief understanding of how it happens. So let's start from the beginning, right? When a new client comes in, whether it's an email via a form, whether it's a call because somebody referred us, whether it's a text message because someone got my number, if it's through social media, DM, wherever it is, here's a mock-up task I did. I will create a new task and, I'll call it, new client potential. And then I'll add it to the sales pipeline. So this has nothing to do with you yet, but just to give you an idea of what happens, right? So let me remove this. And so Symphony sells pipeline. So what I do is if it's a package, and most of them are going to be packages now. We don't really do any one-off websites. We don't really do any logos. We do kind of a bit of Google Ads only. But if it's going to be a package, which includes a website, Google Ads, local SEO, and maybe some other things, it's usually going to be one of these, and mainly going to be Prelude and up. And so Prelude, as you know, that's $500. The new lead date's going to tell us when the first contact was. Like, hey, Cesar, I heard about you. Can you send me some information? Boom, that's that date. Date closed. So let's say they closed today. I would put the 10th. This is the stages. Again, this is more for me. So like, where are they in the process? Once it's closed, one paid, that's when it's official. They've paid and they said, all right, let's do this thing. Just more information. This is the probability of them closing. Once they actually pay, that's 100% source. So it's just nice to see where everybody's coming from. Let's say this one's from TikTok. The Google profile page. So I just added this now because Google profile, if they created it, right? A lot of times they need help with this. It has a lot of the information, right? Where they're located, what their current domain is, what their phone number is. Maybe an existing website. So we're gonna start adding this in my process. That way, when you get it, you'll have information without necessarily needing everything from the client. But you'll still have to confirm. Then they'll have this is our CRM as well, right? Name Mike Jones 281-308-8004. If you ever needed to call them, email. So this is how you would reach out via email. Their current website, their company name, client cancellation. So this is for later. If once they exit the journey, the customer journey life cycle, that would go here. But let's say they closed, right? They closed today. I'll send to you, and we're gonna add the website project, right? So the website project builds this other list, right? So date closed comes up again. It's date closed. So like this, depending if you can see it or not, we're gonna leave it here for now. So for now, it's today, right? Why do we want to know this? We want to know this because we usually tell clients we'll have it in 30 days. If it's a normal local service-based website, we can usually get it done within 30 days. And, if it's something more extravagant or more higher level, then it could take longer. But this is just a reference point, right? So if we said it's going to take 2 months, February 10th, date close was today, so it's January 10th. By March 10th, it should be done. If it's a regular one, it's usually 30 days. It'll be February 10th. And so we use that as a mark. Like, are we early? Are we late? Are we on time? And so sometimes it's because of us. Well, it should never be because of us. That's why this is important. We should do the best of our abilities to follow up with customers and clients and let them know, like, hey, we're still missing domain access. We're still missing, et cetera, et cetera. I'll go through that a little bit later. So the date close is an important date. The go live date is an important date. So once the website actually go live, it lets the marketing department know, okay, now that it's live, we have to report every 10th, or we have to report, have this up in a week or whatever it is. We're not going to focus too much on that. So then here, when you look at this stuff, right, website value, did they pay for it? If it's included in the marketing package, it's a marketing package. If the website maintenance, it's included in the marketing package. If it's new, then it's not going to have Google Analytics because it's not live. Elementor Pro is not going to be live. Gravity Forms, is it live? No, because it's not live yet. SEM's ranking, not live yet. This should be yellow. package, what's the package? And then this is back to the sales. So this is when you get it, right? So once you get it, may already gotten the information or not. But I think as a general rule of thumb, we should always send a kickoff email. And so the kickoff email is just going to be a reference point for the client and ourselves. Like, hey, client, you had the sales process, but here's everything that this process is going to take on, or everything that's going to be involved in this process. So every email, every first interaction that you do is going to be something like this, right? So I just remade this one. And if you don't remember, let me save this actually. We'll call it, so it's going to be called Website Kickoff for Local Service-Based Businesses with Symphony Advertising. And the reason I title it that, I'll send this to you. The reason I tell it, and so to do that, you'll take this information, you'll copy it like I did, and then you'll hit this button, templates, save draft as template, and then it'll be here. So website kickoff. So this is step 2, right? Deal closed, assign a task assigned, sent to you. Then it's, coordinate with web team to get the themes. You know this part. And then number 3, before you can send the email, you have to get the themes, right? Or you could send the email and say, I'll be sending the themes shortly. Or, if it's like a Friday or something, like it takes us a couple hours to redo the research and find the proper theme options for you. Let me send those over on Monday, but I wanted to get this information to you. So this is really important because anytime a deal closes, we want to send this information like the day of, if not the next day. So needs to be sent the day of, if not the next business day. Why? Because they just paid, right? They just paid and they're expecting something to happen. And so imagine I say, hey, thank you for moving forward. You'll be hearing from our website project manager. And then 7 days pass. Hey, Cesar, you just took my money. What am I getting? Right? So it's very important that we do it, if not, the same day, then the following day. So for example, if somebody closes today at 5:30 p.m., they're going to understand like, hey, we'll have that to you tomorrow. I'll let them know that. If they close today at 11, we should be able to get that email out to them like same day, right? It's a template. We in here, right? Website kickoff for local service-based business. This is supposed to be the client name. So website kickoff for Houston Plumber Services with Symphony Advertising. And the reason I put with Symphony Advertising is because a little bit of brand building, right? And so just change this. Update title of email to client name and include client name. And click on it. Okay, so like you're not just gonna send it, like by itself. You're gonna change this to their company name, and you're gonna put hello client, like actually, Cesar. Hello, Cesar. And I'll go through this email real quick here shortly. And so, okay, so in this email there's a lot of important stuff. Like that's why it's a template, because it's so important. So it's going to say, hello, thank you for moving forward with the website process with Symphony Advertising. Below is our website process, theme suggestions, and information we need from you in order to get the website completed. So, I mean, I know you sent this, but let's just go over it. Our website process is simple and straightforward. In short, it works like this. We send you website theme options from our library to pick for an initial direction. It's just a starting point. We can change colors, sections, pictures, pages, etc. Some examples of these themes are below it we can use for your business. And so that's where you coordinate with the web team, or you do it by yourself. You go get themes that make sense and actually spend, some time making sure that, okay, this is a good website for this type of customer, or theme for this kind of customer. So once they select it, we then build the mock-up and share with you, tailored to your company information that provides with us. So, I'm not going to put time because it depends, right? But this usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. Once they pick one, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks to build the first mock-up. We make changes needed, and also if the content you provide, such as photos, we make changes needed and also add content that you provide, such as photos, content, pricing, contact details. So like, we have to, sometimes they provide the content, but for the most part, we're going to provide the content. But we need the pricing. We need the phone number. We need all that information. That's why that's mentioned here. And then finally, we take the website live and will be accessible when anyone visits the website address. By this point, we'll have the domain and hosting ready. And so right below that, this is where we insert the theme options, right? Here are the ones that we think are a good fit for you. Put 3 or 4. Always, always, always. Personally, our favorite, I'm not gonna put that because if we forget, it's gonna just say personally I recommend X theme. But every time we send themes out, we need to recommend which one we think is best. Because if you send 3 or 4 and you just say, "Hey, pick one," we're not giving them our, there's options. We're the experts. We should say, "Hey, number 1 and number 2 are my favorite. I think those are going to be great. However, 3 and 4 are still good. But if I had to pick one, number 1 is the way to go." We have to recommend. It's a way of showing our expertise. Yes, they're all good. Yes, they're all going to be fine. Yes, they're all going to work. But we have to give them an option, a clear indicator, not only because we want to show expertise, but what if the client looks at them and they don't know, right? Or they're busy and they don't really want to go through all of them. Hey, you recommended number 1? We'll go with number 1. So please, recommend. So on here, always recommend one of the themes. A favorite. Theme options. And so if they need a logo option, I added this thing here. If you need a new logo, we can provide some mockups. If you have any references or ideas of logos that you like, we can build mockups based on that. If not, we can suggest some logo ideas from our side. Please note that a new logo will add 1 to 2 weeks depending on how long it takes to get a final design. Process is similar to website process to the website process, and we will send mockups adjust based on feedback and come to a finalized design. So you should know, right? Like, if the client needs a logo, I'm going to mention it, right? Because it's an important part of the website process, the colors, the fonts. But it's also your job to double check, like, hey, it doesn't seem like they need a logo. Do they need a logo? Because we don't want to send this if they didn't want one. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of push them to getting a logo when it's not needed. And if it's not needed, then we don't need to be adding additional things. It's kind of like we don't want to push them in that direction if that's not what they want to do. But they might see it again and be like, oh, okay, well, let's just do it anyways, because it's going to add a lot of time to it. And then information we need from you. Please provide the information, responses to the items below. We have all the information ready so that we have all the information ready for the website. The sooner we have this, the faster we finish. So services to include: phone number, email, address, or areas of service. Some people don't have a location. They are mobile. They go to the customer, right? Hours of operation, images via email, Google Drive, or Dropbox is best. If you need help setting this up, we can do it for you. So we mentioned that because sometimes they text me 170 photos. They're HEIC. They're the the ones that move when you hold it down. So we have to convert them. Then we have to upload them, and it just makes it a mess. If instead we send them a Google Drive folder, hey, upload all your photos here, it's going to be much easier, and we can share it a lot easier. So keep that in mind. That's going to be on your end. An initial theme pick. So above, it'll be, the theme options will be there. Once the theme is picked, we can move forward. That's kind of like the main thing to move forward with. If you need a want logo design, again, this is going to be something that you may need to delete before sending. It'll be obvious when it comes. Domain name access. We need this in order to take the website live. Typically, this will be on GoDaddy.com. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you. And so the important thing to remember here is that your job is to get this information. The domain name, while we don't need it until the very end, once it's ready to go live, we need to get it as soon as possible. Because if not, as there's some examples in the past where we are done. The client has approved it. They want to go live and we don't have access. And so now we're stuck just following up on, hey, can you give us access? Can you give us access? Can you give access? And we're wasting that time in getting that website live and starting the marketing process. And so all these things, if they're missing, initial theme is obviously the first one that they need to get, as well as the logo. But if they haven't sent the hours, or if it's, if it can't be found somewhere else, if they haven't sent the services or the prices or the pricing or, whatever, any of these things that are missing, or if they say, hey, images, if not available, we can use stock photos. Any content you want added for if none, if you so, like, hey, you have a weird service we have no idea about. Can you let us know what's in that package or what's in that service or what this entails? Because the more information we get from them, the easier it is for us to create the content, have it up, and actually match their business, right? We don't want to create a website, do all this marketing. Somebody calls them and they say, well, we don't really offer that. That's not really our thing. Bad, right? Like that's just like creating something that doesn't exist anyways. And so I'm going to save over this. And whenever you do this, by the way, make sure your signature's on there. So like, I think if I do it now, see, you should be fine. Don't just delete your signature, or else you're gonna put 2 signatures every time you do the template. So if I go to the kickoff, yeah, see, it's only 1. So make sure when you initially do it, remove your signature. Okay, and so that is the very important email, right? Everything besides this is gonna be okay, right? Or it's not like this is like kind of like the main meat and potatoes of this whole process. As long as we get all this stuff, we can pretty much get the website built. Now, we should follow up every 2 to 3 days to make sure we get all the information. Hey, we're still missing the domain. Hey, we're still missing the content that you said you would give us. If you don't want it, we'll just make it, but we need to know, right? It's very important. Because then we can only follow up 2 to 3 times a week if you think about it. So I don't think that's bad at all. They paid for it. We need to deliver on what we said we would do. And then every now and then you're going to have somebody that says, hey, Cesar, I really like the site. There's some things I don't like about it. I'll write it over. They're not going to write it over. They don't have time. Nobody does. And so always offer, hey, you can totally write that over. Or if you want to schedule a screen share, and we can get this done in 15 to 20 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes, really depends. And so on the screen share with Google Meet, you'll be able to show your screen. You'll be able to go through the website. They might be like, hey, can you click on that button? Go to the service page, scroll down a little bit. Yeah, that right there. That picture, that was actually when I used to work somewhere else. Can you just remove that and replace it with this one? And so it's a lot easier to get done. It's quicker, it's faster, and there's a little bit more like red carpet service if necessary. But, we don't always need to offer it, but if it's needed to take the website live within a good time frame, then we should do it. Or if you could tell the client's struggling with communicating via online, right? Via email. Like some it's just not easy for them. So, okay. After that, let's say you didn't have to do it or you did do the screen share. Now we take the website live. This gets a little murky, right? Who's doing it? Is it you? Is it me? Is it the web team? It depends, right? It doesn't necessarily matter as long as it gets up and done right. Now, once it's live, your job is not over. Because once the website is live, there are still missing pieces, which are to a client. You have to tell the client, because if the client's not told, they're not going to know, right? So send your website is now live. I think it looks great, right? You always want to kind of make it, you want to be enthusiastic, especially when you send the website preview. So I guess I missed send website preview. Be enthusiastic. Hey client, your website is now, your website preview is now ready. Here it is. I think it's coming along great. Please have a look and let me know what you think. If it's all good to go, we can take the website live. If you have any changes, let me know. If screen shares needed, let me know. And so you don't always have to mention the screen share part because they might be ready to go. Kind of, you're going to have to feel it out. So send website preview. If they want to screen share, Google Meet. Once confirmed, move forward. That wasn't needed. You could take website live, then tell each client that it's live and the team that the website is live. We still need to add the Gravity Form license, the Elementor Pro license. We have to install Google Analytics. We have to install Google Search Console. We have to install SE Ranking. We have to add it to SE Ranking. If there's any Google ads that need to be added, SEO process kicks off. Google ads kicks off. A lot of, depending on what they're getting, retargeting, call tracking, a lot of things kick off. So it is up to you to go back to that main task and make sure all this stuff is green. That's why they're here. Is it live? Is Google Analytics? I mean, you don't necessarily have to do it because you can't. You don't have access to all this stuff. But make sure that just make sure it's green. If it's not green, hey Cesar, it's not green. Hey, whoever's in charge, it's not green. And so, this is going to be kind of like the work in process document. So This is actually just the email that I'm going to send you. And then what I want to do is I just want to have the 12 steps, the 20 steps, the 17 steps, the 13 steps, whatever the steps are in a nice, easy fashion. That way you and I can both reference this document and say, oh, okay, we forgot to get whatever. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. Or we did do this. We did do that. And it doesn't have to be for everybody. We don't have to reference it every single time. But maybe we do. Maybe, you know, hey, I just took, what was that site you took live? Somebody. The laser website. Hey, we took this live. Let me make sure. You know what's not done? We don't have any Google Analytics, any Google search content, any SEO ranking. So this is like the transition between marketing and SEO. And so that is the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And obviously, this is a work in progress. Just text me and we will work this out.